We're live. We're live.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Unprinted Pages. With me, I have my awesome co-host slash everything fake horror partner, Serena. We have our amazing guest, Mina, and the new to the scene, Angel. She hopefully will have her own podcasting show soon. And hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hello,
Hi.
darling.
It's so nice to be here with you guys. And one of the biggest reasons we're here is because our wonderful, amazing Mina has more Stevie to give us next month. I think this is June, right? So definitely a month.
Yes.
Yay! I can't wait. So, hi. Please tell us about these amazing plans you have for us.
Well, I mean, for those that read Hood have said no, they know that I left it on quite a wonderful cliffhanger. I did
Yes.
find out that a trope is a cliffhanger, and I'm like the queen of that. So, basically, what happens is that Stevie, it's a completely new adventure. Her memory starts coming back. Um, she ends up meeting an old friend that she hasn't seen in centuries, and just a lot of shenanigans. Rowan's still up to his crap. He wants the crown. He wants SRK. SRK is in Rumble or in ruins, and so her whole idea is getting back to Scotland. She wants to rebuild her childhood home. And of course, some of these men have this other idea, like Sebastian wants to rekindle what they had 300 years ago. That's not even a priority of hers. And she's still at the point where she doesn't really completely remember what they had back in 1685. And he's still cursed, so he's still kind of like on the super grumpy side, and she wants nothing to do with that. So, it's basically the whole design behind Coveted Hood is that no matter what she does, trouble seems to follow her everywhere she goes. And she doesn't make it for herself, it just follows her. So it's kind of like a target on her back. So there's
So,
no romance, just, a bunch of friends trying to stay alive. And that's pretty much it.
dude, I can't wait.
So,
Please go read the first book, please.
it's so hard to talk about. Yeah, it's so hard to talk about the second book when it's like you don't really want to give too much away. but then it's like you want to just talk about it. Um, I have brought back an old character that was in the original series, who at first in the original series was a bad guy, a villain, kind of a douche, and brought him back this time, and he's just basically her old friend and just very protective of her. And he's like super funny. He's super cool. His name is Jeremy Fife, and he's another dark fae like she is, but he's a little bit kind of, more brawn than brains, really. I don't know. I seem to have this penchant for writing dumb men. I'm not sure why. Gabriel's like the only one that has any sense, okay? But yeah, that's it. I'm like, this, I have to really honestly say that this has been my favorite book that I have written in like the longest time. I mean, I love Scarlet Peacock, but there's just something about Coveted Hood that just I enjoyed every minute of writing this one. Um,
But they're
I still have to read
two
through it just to
entirely
make sure
different
it's as good
worlds
as I
to
think
dive
it is.
into.
You can't compare, they're like comparing oranges and apples. I mean, Stevie is not Scarlet and vice versa. Scarlet has her own spunk, but she's definitely not
Mhm,
Stevie. And they both, I mean, the only thing they really share is that Stevie has her past. She was a princess in training to be a queen. She was also arranged to marry this complete jerk. And hello, Michael. Michael's here. Yay. Um, and the thing with Scarlet is that she had no idea about her past. She had to learn about it from like a third party. Where
mhm,
Stevie, it doesn't really come back to her until, I mean, they keep mentioning Princess Corin, Princess Stephanie Corin in Hood of Sedna. She's got no idea who the heck they're talking about, and she doesn't learn that until Coveted Hood, the
mhm.
significance of Princess Stephanie. So, yeah.
But like you were saying earlier, Scarlet, Stevie, and Casey are three totally different characters. They all deserve their own type of love for their own story. But you're writing this one now. That's a good reason to love it more because right now you're giving it all your heart, all your attention, and we are all going to enjoy it.
And then
Definitely.
another one too. I do have a new female main character. I didn't mention this book only because it's like I wasn't sure. I was coming in here more as Mina Skye, but we have Celestia Monet from Sigil Angel.
Mhm,
That book was just released yesterday. It's crazy. It's dirty. I mean, dirty. I've never written anything this dirty in my life ever. Not even the Vamp series. Um, but Celestia is. I just have a tendency to write spunky characters, and in my opinion, she and Ezio Diavolo are like the two saving graces of Sigil Angel because Alvis Bellucci is just like he's got no redeeming qualities. He's just a terrible, terrible character. Not terribly written, just terrible. And he doesn't care. He couldn't care less about anything but himself. So that's why I'm not really gonna, I was really kind of hoping to be able to talk about Sigil Angel, but unfortunately my co-author couldn't make it to today's podcast. Um, it's interesting for me. It's something I've never written. So, I mean, people are going to love it or they're going to hate it or they're going to be kind of in between. It's it's something I typically don't write, and it's really hard when you have to put on that YA hat and then take it off
mhm.
and then put it back on, take it off. So I do suffer from identity crisis a lot of times. Am I
I can
Mina? Am
And
I
understand
I,
that.
LD? Am I Mina? Am I LD? Oh, there's Sigil Angel. Yeah.
Yeah, I went and
It's
stole it
a
from the group.
rockstar demon romance. Um, I actually really like this story a lot. I can't say I love it. I love elements of it. I love the whole dynamic between Celestia and Ezio. Just the parts with oh, YA means young adult. Angel was asking what YA was. Um,
You
I
have
have never written a morally black character before. And Albie's Bellucci is morally black. Not even morally gray. He's just morally black. Okay.
that sounds fun. I can't wait to kill it. Hey, Angel, did you have like a full question you want to ask on top of what is YA?
Just generally, what does that mean? Like young adult, what does that mean for the genre of it?
It's young adult. A lot of the times the characters they range. They're no older than 18. I only call the Capot series young adult only because Stevie Capot is um perpetually 18 years old, so it could fall under the YA. Plus, there's no sex in Hood of Sedna. There's suggestiveness, but there's no sex whatsoever. Yeah, you got a little bit of foul language because I can't go without writing a book without foul language because it's just how I am. Because I curse like a sailor in real life. Um, um, there's a share of violence. I don't. I find to me, YA just means that it's the age of the characters, and it's not going to have all the steamy eroticism like Sigil Angel would, or even my MC books. So,
From what I understand of
but
the
you guys would be lucky to
genre,
see.
sorry, from what I
No, no, no,
understand
you're
of the
good, Serena.
genre,
Go ahead.
it seems to be for those that are just out of high school or just about to get out of high school to read. It's not necessarily kiddie, but it's not necessarily somebody who is old enough yet to be able to deal with, say, full on erotica or some of the more steamier romances. That's how the market sees YA. At least
Yeah,
that's
but
the way
unfortunately,
I
a lot of the
understand it.
readers is teen angst, and I don't want to read YA because there's teen angst, and I can't stand angsty teens. That's all how you write it. Um, yeah, teenagers are angsty. That's the nature of being a teenager. But the thing with like the Guntai Academy series, the one I'm basing it off the Final Fantasy games, um, it's a teen. It's strictly for teens because they're in a school. And of course, Ember starts off in the book as an orphan, and she's brought to the school when she's 10 years old, and auditions to be part of the elite Bide military group. But you have to be 16, 15 or 16. Um, and that's when once she joins that group, that's when things really start covering up from her past, how she became an orphan, and then she starts taking certain missions to a more personal level. So I'm basing this more around. I absolutely love Final Fantasy VIII. I love the whole militant. I love the whole military school aspect of it. And because Sophie, my granddaughter, loves Japanese culture, the second book is called Soshiki, and the character's name is Soshiki. And I would love to be able to show you all the covers. I had them all done already for the whole series, and they're beautiful. But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting with this one. I mean, each of the characters, we have Ember, we have Soshiki, we have Magnus, and we have Edon. There's gonna be a backstory for each of them in each book, but it's still gonna follow that whole mission from book one, and it's gonna be an interesting series, and it's gonna be fun to see it written from a 13-year-old's perspective. So I've seen some of what Sophie's written, and even at the time she was like 11 or 12 years old, it was pretty impressive. She's
Mm-hmm.
a little smarty pants, that one, and she's talented. So of course I got to brag. I'm kind of partial.
Oh yeah, and the
Yeah.
entire fantasy genre who have who has read Amelia Atwater Rhodes already knows that a 13-year-old can write a great vampire story or a great witch story.
Oh.
So I have
She
full
kind of
faith
tripped me
in
out.
your
I'm like,
story.
thinking, okay, yeah. Oh, I do too. Because I even asked her, I'm like, well, Sophie, by the way, I don't know if you saw the cover. Did you see the co-author name?
I
On Ember, cover.
2 seconds. There you are. Beefy?
Easy. I asked her. I said, "Why Beezy?" It's a different name, a different way of spelling cheesy. People are not going to put that together with cheese, okay? But Beezy will work anyway. That's just her sense of humor. That's just how she is. And I had asked her, about Soshki, and I said, "Oh, is he gonna be like comic relief, like a sweet little funny character?" Oh no, he's gonna be angry all the time. For, but he's got reasons, Grandma. Okay, all right, got it. So she's gonna write an angry, brooding character. That's gonna be cool. I'm like, that's gonna go really awesome because Ember is not like this happy-go-lucky, like Riku type. She's not one of those, or even Selfie from Final Fantasy VIII. Yeah, she's not Riku.
No, but
She's gonna be
she's
like a
gonna be
female
awesome in her
version of
own right.
Squall Leonhardt. She's not gonna be Stevie. I mean, what I'm gonna go back to Stevie, and I mean, when I first wrote Hood of Sedna and Coveted Hood, I was told from another author that she was not relatable. And of course, being a brand new author, I really had no idea what she meant by that. How is she not relatable? Oh, I made her relatable and then some. Stevie is clumsy. You remember the part in Hood of Sedna when she goes to shoot off the wristlets and nothing's happening. And
And
then
she
she
forgot to load them.
discovers when Elmer points out to her, she forgot to load them. So it's like, it's not perfect. And then you should see the note that she leaves for the men at the end of Coveted Hood, and we learn that she can't spell for crap. Yeah, so her spelling skills are horrendous.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's like, how do you make a character like Stevie Capoe relatable? And I never asked readers that what they truly think of Stevie, what they think of her personality. Is she relatable? What do you like about her? What do you dislike about her? You know, those kind of questions. Those are what I'm curious about with my characters. Like, in my opinion, I found Scarlet Peacock, especially in Peacock's Lament, to be extremely wishy-washy. I'm like, gosh, if I can go back, rewrite it again, she would have just killed Ansel from the beginning, and then I would have had to rewrite the whole plot. But you know, Ansel didn't deserve to live as long as
Mm-mm.
he did. They should have killed him. Actually, Countess Cote should have killed him.
Yeah.
um, or and the mother. But it's like I think I was really honestly running out of steam with that one and just wanted to finish it because I was already late in putting it out. I wasn't feeling it. But Stevie, it's like everything is just coming so easily to me. Sigil Angel, there's times it's like, "Ugh, I don't know what to put here." And then I have my co-author, Avalon, that's like, push me, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Oh my God, that's brilliant. We kind of like feed off one another.
Mhm.
And, she's just a great cheerleader too. So
She's
it helps.
amazing.
She is. She really is. And she's a sweetheart.
I hope that one day she'll be willing to come on the show and tell for everyone to see how amazing she is. But
Yeah.
we'll get to that at some point.
And I think next year we need to try to bring Sophie on, my
Oh,
granddaughter. So long as it's not on a school night, but it
oh,
typically is. Um,
we can always
she may be fine on
pre-record or
camera.
something.
Oh wait, and she's
Saturdays.
at home. She can
Next
do it
month,
from home. That's
no,
true.
next month we're changing the dates to Saturday, where all the unprinted pages will not Saturday, but will be on a Sunday. So we can do that then. Or oh
Oh,
yeah, Mondays are
nice.
school, but we're still doing it on Sundays now. But the schedule changes will be visible later for all the shows for the summer schedule.
Okay.
But yeah,
That'll work because I really on it. Yeah, it would be nice to be able to bring Jay and Sophie on Avalon and
mhm,
VZ.
that would be
I even
amazing.
asked her. I said, "Why not a last name?" She goes, "I think a first name is enough." Okay.
Here
I don't hear too many authors that use just a first name, but okay, that's cool.
we have Cher.
KDB maybe put a period on her name, but
But
Actually, it
I
kind of
think
works. Although, from a publishing standpoint, you might want to let them know that that will cause an issue on the publisher's end because a lot of the requirements are that they have to have two names.
okay.
The like Amazon and all the other publishers, like the places where you publish, do require you to have
Hmm.
two names. I've had to go back to authors and go, hey, I need you to give me at least an initial for a second name because
Yeah.
the requirements. That's why one of my authors, one of the poets that I published, the pen name they use is NK0 because they wanted to publish as NK, and then Amazon didn't like that. So I went back and I'm like, look, we need something more. And Amazon's requirement made him add that. So you might want to let your co-author know that.
Okay.
I think one of the biggest questions why I was actually happy both of you guys would be here. You both write fairies, but you both write two different types of worlds of fairies. And for other
Hmm.
authors and fans, I was hoping I could get both of you to give your view on what a fae means to you in your world. And if you'll start,
They,
Mina.
Serena. I'll let Serena go first. Oh,
Okay.
me? Oh. Um, I think of a fae. I mean, for example, watch Maleficent. She's a dark fae. Big wings. They don't have the little gossamer wings like you would think of a typical fairy. Fae actually has the big bird wings, and that's what I think. And I always think about fae as being a warrior. Like a fairy that like flitters and flits around, and they could turn small, big, whatever, and they're super cute. A fae is just like a powerful warrior. And when I first wrote the Capot series, she was a Sid warrior. But yeah, they have. I look at the difference between a fae as being, a winged bird. Um, Now, one thing you're gonna find in like Coveted Hood, for example, when she was with the Sapphire Raven Kin before it was destroyed, the wings were like a brilliant black with the sapphire blue going through it and different colors. But being that she's displaced, she's got they're more almost like a midnight blue, almost black, but with red going through it. And I forgot how I described it in the book, but I had to make her a displaced fae because she doesn't have a home. But that's how I would describe a fae. Now I want to hear Serena's. That's just me. That's how I write my
Fae,
fae.
for me, Fae isn't a specific thing. Fae is a description of a group of races. A gnome is a type of Fae. A fairy is a type of Fae. A
Oh,
kobold
okay.
is a type of Fae. A mermaid is a type of Fae. Fae is a general, like human is a race. Fae
Oh,
is a race.
okay.
So for me, Fae are not the specifics. Fae can be an
It's a
umbrella
breed.
term.
It's a race.
Yeah, it's a breed.
Okay.
It's just like dragon may describe a million different types of dragons. Fae describes a million different types. Now, if you start getting into seelie versus unseelie, or you start breaking it down more, then you start getting the more details of whether or not they're going to be, like you said, the gossamer wings or the more feathery wings or even bat wings, depending on the breed of fae. Because, like I said, kobold to me is a type of fae. It's a fae creature. It is a blending of dragon and fae. And there are so many fairy tales that talk about sirens, selkies, and that's where my term fae comes from the old fairy tales, from Grimm's, from all of the original tales that were told not only to give lessons, but also to scare children into not going into the dark places that the forests had. Because those weren't safe, and they weren't safe for a reason. And for me, that's what those stories are about. They're about these creatures that are part of human nature and part of human fantasy, and how we twist them and how we make them into what they are. For example, my take on the Peter Pan story. I took the fairy in Peter Pan and turned her dark.
Well,
Death in Neverland is not a good story by any means. It
Okay,
is a very dark story.
It's a dark story, but it's a great story. Let's put it that way. I love that book.
Yeah.
well,
But when
wanna
I
point
say
out
it's
too
not
that
a good
Tinkerbell
story. Sorry.
Tinkerbell, Disney-fied Tinkerbell is like cutesy and sweet. Oh, Tinkerbell is a total bitch. So,
Yeah.
yeah, she's not this cutesy sweet. And plus, you take the elements of, they're kidnapping Tiger Lily. There's nothing positive about Peter Pan at all. And honestly, that's seriously one of my least favorite books ever. My
I
least favorite
actually
Disney
made
movies ever. I just don't like Peter Pan.
You actually might like Death of Neverland. I took it and I I made it a propaganda story. I made the original into a propaganda story.
Ooh,
What if Peter
I
Pan
may
was
check it
the
out then.
villain? What if Peter Pan was the villain? What if
Not
Wendy told the story she did because she had been abused and Peter Pan was using her to get more victims? And
Ooh, wow.
that is
That's
all of what
twisted.
Death of Neverland is. And it's not a good story, but it is well written, but it is not a nice story. That's how I should put it.
I don't think it was meant to be.
Um,
I mean, that's the one thing I can honestly say about Sigil Angel. It's not a nice story. It's well written, but it's not a nice story. It's not. I don't like
the
nice people in my books, to be honest.
the current retelling I'm working on is the current retelling I'm working on is a retelling, and I kind of been hinting at it, but it's a retelling of Rumpelstiltskin, and I'm not uh, doing it in a way that most people are going to recognize the story unless they've actually read the original Grimm fairy tale version of it.
They're twisted anyway.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't necessarily like the Disneyfied versions of some of the fairy tales because I think the Disney took a lot of what was great storytelling, and that was the key. It was great
Little Mermaid.
storytelling. Hmm. And
Little
made it
Mermaid is a
into,
prime example.
oh yeah, they made it into something cute and sweet and ruined it. I mean, yeah, it's great for kids. It really is. But then people forget that this great story existed. That these creatures are meant to be terrifying. And that's what the Fae are for me. They're meant to be terrifying.
Hmm.
They're not meant to be children's stories, in my opinion. They can be,
I did.
but they're not meant to be.
I, I did want to point out that I did go through Coveted Hood, and she is referred to as a fairy, not a fae. So she's actually Stevie is part witch, part fairy, because her mother was a witch, her father was a fairy, which was
That's cool.
forbidden. Mm. It was okay for her mom and dad to like get hitched and have a kid, but when she fell in love with a warlock, that was so not even allowed. So her parents were hypocritical.
Hmm.
But
Aren't they always?
Serena, what
I love
is
writing
your
forbidden relationships.
me too? Well, I love reading them. What was your favorite Fae character that you've written, Serena?
Um,
I've never asked this in the whole time I've known you, and I should have.
oddly enough, the one that comes to mind as being my favorite so far has got to be the one from Fairy Playgrounds, the growing up story, the Changeling. And I took that one over two stories, and I really kind of liked her. She was a changeling, and the idea was that she was going to end the war between the humans and the fairies. And
Ooh.
I liked how that story went. I also kind of liked the one that was in Rowan because Rowan was a good story. I like my short stories. Rowan, the idea was that all of the evil in the heart of men was contained in a tree. And the fairies had assigned light bringers, ones that would fight when the tree started to move. They would fight the tree. They would fight this evil, and if they failed, the apocalypse would happen. If they did not fight the tree, the apocalypse would happen. And I liked the Changeling, and I also liked the one in Rowan. I liked both of those pretty equally. They were both really good, I think. I did not like the fairy in Death of Neverland. I liked Hook. I really liked Hook. He was my
Me too.
favorite character in that one.
That was probably one of my favorite Peter Pan retellings. Okay. I know we haven't written anything like this, but I'm finding more and more books about this. My whole entire Facebook feed has decided I should read more about this. What uh when are is the school one coming? what do you think? The first one,
Oh, the first
the
one
Ember one.
is Ember is March 4th, 2025.
So okay,
Early next year.
and oh yeah, one of my other big questions I wanted to ask about your demons. It are Do any of the new ones in the Sigil series meet any of the older demons from any of the series? Because I know you had demons in
I
Cascade Duck.
Okay, can I point out something? The only demon I had ever written
Yeah.
was Ezio Diavolo, and he was
Okay.
actually originally in Flawed Incubus. So I just basically rewrote him.
Oh, okay. Well, wait a minute. What was what was her dad in Cascade Duck?
Oh, I forgot about those two. I, Cascade Duck. I just kind of like put that book out of my memory. Um, what was her dad's name? Armand was her father's name, and then the villain's name
Yeah.
was something. Amon, I
Yeah,
think.
Amon.
I haven't even,
I just didn't really.
that's one thing I didn't even think to add them to this series. I think it's too late now because we're already on side B. But yeah, Armand was her father. Amon was was Armand his cousin or something? Maybe he was a douchebag. Um,
Yes.
and Cascade Duck. I kind of forget about that one, but only because it wasn't one of my favorite books. I literally wrote that in 2 weeks. I had no idea what I wanted to do with it. I was going to turn into an RH and decided RH wasn't for me. RH to me is, no offense, anybody, overrated. Um, white shoes. I'd be the type of person if I wrote a white shoes, the girl would be going by herself. She'd be like, whatever, I'm not choosing any of you guys. I'm going by myself. So that would be her white shoes. Um, I just it's not that I lack romance. I just don't think it's really completely 100% necessary in certain books. Um,
Well, yeah.
I like that little bit of suggestiveness and charisma, not charisma, but chemistry. But I don't think every book has to have romance in it. What is Serena doing?
I don't know.
The if I use my phone, my voice ends up with feedback. And if I use my computer, I don't have a camera yet. So I'm using my tablet, and
Oh,
the chat isn't on the side on the tablet. It's a little button on the bottom that has a little number, and the number was bugging me. So I wanted to see what the chat had to say. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
oh no, apologize.
But I think
Oh,
I do know. Um, there was this one question about if you planned on writing any zombie books in the future. If that was even
no,
something
I don't do
anywhere on your
zombies.
radar as an author.
Oh, no, but I do have another book I'm putting out this year, which is actually going to be Mina Skye and Avalon Sierra. So it's not going to be smutty, smut, smut, smut. Hello, little guy. Um,
That would be Dante. Sorry.
in my aw, in my group, I don't know if you remember when I put up that poll question in my readers group asking if I should keep writing vampires, keep writing demons, and then Bruce, one of the group members, said, "Well, what about cowboys versus angels and demons, or cowboy angels versus demons and vampires?" We have High Plains Angels coming out this year. And they are actually warriors from the biblical times, a different dimension. And along with the Valkyrie, which of course everybody knows Valkyrie, we're all females. And some kind of storm happens. I haven't decided yet because I haven't gotten that far into writing all the details. But a storm happens, they end up in the 1800s. So they are actually angels kind of keeping peace in the Wild West. And they have been enjoying peaceful times for 70, 80, a few decades until all of a sudden their livestock is being murdered. People are being murdered in their nice, peaceful community. And so it's kind of like the, Wild Wild West meets paranormal. I haven't decided. It's going to be a lot of fun to write.
Sounds awesome.
So I hope. And it's a Western. I love writing Westerns so much.
I noticed.
Love it. My
I can
first
tell.
books published were Western.
Yeah, and where you have Stevie Cabot originally set in, it's a Western type setting.
Sedna, Washington. And that's what's so
But
interesting
it's
is
in that
listening to
time zone.
Jonathan's narration. I'm
Time
like,
area.
he's got everybody with like a southern drawl. I'm like, people in Washington don't have southern drawls, dude. He's from New York, so he wouldn't know.
Yeah,
But yeah, so yeah, in Jagged Little Hood, I just want to let you know that she is going back to Sedna.
awesome. And I do have a question for both of you. Are you plotters or pansters or a mix?
Anster. I
Answer.
don't even take. I mean, Avalon did like this whole, uh, um, what you call it thing, outline of Sigil Angel Side B. I took a look at it once. I don't go with outlines, and only because when I make them, they go out the window. Completely out the window. I mean, the only time it worked for me is when I was writing Coveted Hood, wrote ideas down. Most of them I followed, most of them I didn't. Because it's just, I write what my heart is feeling at the time. It may be crap after I read it, a few more times, going, God, I should change that because it's terrible. I can't plot. I can't. And that's why if you read a blurb that I put it maybe 2 or 3 months ago, the blurb is going to change because
Yeah.
the storyline changes.
I'm same way.
So,
I'm same way. The reason why it takes me so long with some of my books is because I will start on them. I will world build. Now that I will do. I will world build because I'll have this idea in my head and I'll be like, okay, this might be a great game world. So I'll sit there and I'll have pages on pages of ideas for, like all the stuff for the world. But that's not necessarily going to end up in the story. I have a
that's
book in progress, Kingdoms of Sin. I'm probably not going to end up it actually making it to a full novel. It's probably going to end up as a game book because I can't get the plot to go anywhere. I've got so much world building, but the plot holds no water. That one I'm probably going to turn into a game book because that is a glorious game world. I've put players through it. I've run D&D campaigns
like
in it
off-road
multiple times.
I was going to say like D&D.
Yeah, I've
I like
been.
D&D. I'm like,
I can teach you. I've taught players. I literally have been teaching players since third ed came out. And it's not that hard. But the thing is, I have run multiple groups through this world, and it works out beautifully as a game world. It does not, however, work out as a story. So, it's one of those things that I've got God knows how much of the story written, but it really is just stuck because it's like got 13,000 words in it and it's stuck. That's as far as I'm getting with it because the plot goes nowhere.
Yeah.
It would make great if I do turn it into a game book. It would make great flavor text throughout the game book, what I've written, but it's not going to end up as an actual storybook because of how just the way the world is set up. There's no end for it. And that's what has come to mind. There is no end for that particular book. There's no way to end it.
Okay.
And if I'm honest, if I sit there and plan out my books, then I probably would never get half of the stuff I do get written done because I would sit there and see the end of the story and go, I don't like that anymore.
You're like, what the hell was I
Whereas,
thinking?
yeah. Whereas if I'm sitting there writing it, it's just as much a surprise to me at the end as it was at the beginning. And it's actually like, oh, that's actually a decent story. I can publish that now.
My
And it
follow-up
makes
question,
sense.
do you write the story in order, or do you write the pieces you have in mind scenes for and then go back and connect them later?
Asking
I've
me
always
or
written
Serena?
it in order.
Both of you.
Oh, I write in order. I used to write in
I've
pieces. That doesn't work for me. I write in order.
same. I've always written in order. If
But I
I
happen to have
write
to
it,
go back this week. If Michael is still on here, the poor guy, it's like I'll be like, "Hey, Michael, you want to read this?" And then it's like I'll go through and make all these changes, and I said, "You might as well wait until the art comes out and then read it, because, dude, I made all kinds of changes." I didn't do that with Coveted Hoods, so I'm sure he's probably surprised for one thing that I actually kept it the same and didn't make any changes after he had read all of it. But he's kind of like my alpha reader and lets me know, "Oh, yeah, this book kind of sucks," or actually he won't tell me that, but you know,
I can't wait to see
I'm always
that
looking
book.
for some good alpha readers. I can hook you up.
Yay. Because
Ah,
I know I will end up with the arc later, but I still have to wait months whenever you get it to us to do the thing. But also, it's Stevie, and Stevie's one of
um,
those characters I put above other characters. I'm like, oh shit, I need to read this, but I really want to read this. I think I'm gonna do this and then that.
hit me
Okay,
up after the show.
yay.
I
My
only give
next,
first crack at certain people, and you and Michael and of course Jay are at the top of my list for that. Well, Jay is my editor, but she still gets first crack.
okay, that,
So,
but Jay's special. Period. So either way, and so
oh,
is
isn't
Mike.
she amazing?
Different type of special, but that's the kid.
Uh, Michael is my boo. Huh?
But oh wait a minute, was Michael the son I got to meet before, or the
That's
partner?
Peter. Peter Michael. Peter.
Okay,
Peter's my son.
okay.
He is
Peter's
actually, what time is it? Oh, he's just now. He should be home now. Yeah, you
okay.
got to meet him before. Michael is Michael Olson. You've seen so many times in the group. Because you guys are, you two are like the only ones that respond in there.
Okay.
Hi, readers.
Well,
I write those things. They're called books. I write them.
yeah.
They're
Whereas
really pretty books.
nobody comments in my groups either, and I put all types
I
of stuff
think
in there.
I think I might be in the group as well, but I don't respond in groups because I don't tend to have time to.
You know
I'm
what?
sorry.
Speaking of time, I'm so no, don't apologize because I was just gonna say I am so bad with keeping up on putting posts up there. It's like, when I'm at work, if I have time, I'll slip over here and I'll write. I won't go on Facebook and do this and that. I want to get some words in while I'm at work.
Same.
Um, the job I do is not busy all the time, so I have this time that I could. Oh, I'm doing a portal over here. Oh, I'm gonna sneak over here and oh shit. Okay, I got to get back to the portal before they tell me, you've been on that portal too long. You need to get back to work. It's like, oh, okay. So what I actually need to do is really start getting in the habit. I work 4 days. I have 3 days off. I should really start getting in the habit of setting aside one of those days to spend the entire day writing.
Yes.
Um,
And you can
like
schedule
pick
your
out
group
one
ahead of time.
because I'm yeah. Um, the art group, I'm honestly not sure what's going to happen with that. Um, we did not have a lot of feedback on Sigil Angel. And right now we're only sitting on like 3 reviews on Goodreads and 4 on Amazon.
I'm sorry, I haven't finished it. I
And
had my
I guess
release.
I don't even
it's
know if I even saw that.
uh,
I I so
it's one of those releases that I don't pound the crap out of my books anymore, and only because it's like I get so stinking tired of seeing the same authors with 20 posts every day of the same book, and I didn't want to be one of those authors. So it's like, oh, here's Sigil Angel, blah blah blah. I'll tell you what, I will pound the crap out of Coveted Hood. That's how much I love that.
Mhm.
That's how much I love this series. I will pound the crap out of those series. It's gonna be the same way with the Guntai Academy. And here's a little backstory with that. It was actually gonna be because I was gonna, call it something along the lines of like, how in Final Fantasy VIII they had the Balam Garden or they had the Galbadian Gardens. And my daughter's like, you really don't want to call it a garden. Then they're gonna think it's like a gardening club book. She said, Mom, you're
No.
better off calling it like something academy. Well, that's my daughter for you. So I was looking up like, because I wanted to go that Japanese route. Because I mean, you figure Final Fantasy games are typically made by Japanese designers. And so I'm like, military. Guntai is Japanese for military, and that's how I thought of Guntai Academy.
Mhm.
Um, I'm, huh?
That
I
sounds
do have
fun
a
though.
blurb if you want me to read it. It's kind of long.
Yes. You can
Okay,
read the
let
blurb
me
for
look for
both
the.
books if you
Oh,
want.
okay, I'm gonna read. Okay, let me go ahead and do. Which book do you want me to read the blurb for? Which one first?
Um, do Stevie first and then do Guntai Academy.
I think what I want to do with Stevie, instead of reading the blurb on her, I wanted to read you the chapter with the dragons. Is that okay?
Okay, then read the
Because I
blurb
love,
and
love,
then the
love, love,
chapter.
love, love, love this chapter. Okay,
And then
the blurb. Let me find. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see, why is this getting all dark? Okay, here is a blurb for Coveted Hood. Stevie Capone Chronicles, Book 2, coming out July 9th. Despite Sebastian's warnings against slipping on the stunning sapphire ring, I disregarded his advice and defiantly slipped the ring onto my finger. Little did I know that the seemingly harmless action would kill me the second time. However, it was comparable to a phoenix that gave me a third lease on life, though forever altering my existence. This ring served as a portal into my past life as Princess Stephanie Corn of the Sapphire Raven clan. I should change it again. Besides being royalty, I discovered that I was a unique combination of a dark fairy and incomparable crone, a revelation that left me stupefied. Re-establishing the memories of my past life was a bit of the straightforward part. Trying to carry on my father's legacy brought a whole new nightmare altogether. The adoration of four men, Sebastian and Gabriel Corbeau, Rowan Shaw, and Jeremy Fife. It seemed like these men wanted my hand, heart, body, and maybe the title of king. I wasn't sure about that part, and it was only an assumption. All I wanted was to rebuild my childhood home and carry on my parents' legacies. Being a queen over the Sapphire Raven Kingdom would be a breeze if I was able to do it on my own. Why can't my life, or lives, ever be easy? Are you guys still there? Did I lose everybody?
No, we are still here. We put ourselves on mute so you
Oh,
could speak. So my
oh,
little
okay.
Michael wouldn't come in and
All right.
talk during. That's why I confused him. His I got a tiny Michael and you
Oh,
got a big
okay.
Michael. Does it make sense now?
I got a Peter. I got a Peter Michael. But I was talking about Michael Olson in my group.
Yeah.
Da, da,
Okay.
da, 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 da.
And we put you up big to read
I'm
so
looking.
everybody sees your beautiful face.
Okay. Oh, why would they want to do that? Okay,
Because you're
I am
beautiful.
looking for the chapter with Rowan. Rowan, the big, big, stupid, dumb jerk. You should see like all the underlying words. Fix the spelling. Fix the spelling.
I know
All
that
right.
feeling.
Oh, okay. Here's the part. I absolutely freaking love this chapter. This is actually chapter 24 from Coveted Hood. Rowan,
Ooh.
days later. Skeech, are you awake? Alistair whispered through the bars before proceeding to pound on the door. Get your arse up. I didn't come all the way here to watch you sleep. Mind you, my Scottish is bad, so don't even pay attention to that. I can't help but wonder why I agreed to pay such a hefty sum to this jerk to help me escape the prison where Sebastian Corbeau had locked me up. I didn't do anything to deserve being apprehended, except for making a snarky comment toward Stevie. I have no idea why everyone treats her like fine china when she's anything but. I slid slowly off the bed to be face to face with Alistair's stupid grin. Back away from the door so I could break the door down. Then after I break the door down, I'm going to break the bars on the window and fly your happy ass out of this prison. Alistair explained his plan as he rolled his head around on his neck and cracked his knuckles. I have the strength of 10 men, but still need to make sure my body is limber. Don't want my muscles to tense up and then I injure myself. I let an exasperated groan, feeling the tension in my jaw as I gritted my teeth. Enough with the beginner's lesson on how to break down a door. Hurry up before we attract unwanted attention and put our lives at risk. Alistair waved his hand dismissively. They can't kill me because I'm always a half a step ahead of them, Gazegeech. Stop calling me Gazegeech. And yes, they will kill you. Ruby dragons are forbidden from even stepping foot on the grounds, let alone entering the castle. Alistair muttered something under his breath, his frustration evident on his face. With determination, he forcefully slammed his shoulder into the door, the impact reverberating through the air. The iron heavy door yielded easily off its hinges, crashing down with a resounding thud that all of northern Scotland could hear. Alistair smoothly pushed me aside, effortlessly removing the bars from the small window. He then hovered a few inches above the floor to get a better view outside. All we need to do is flap our wings and we're home free. You realize I don't have wings anymore. He grinned in my direction. Well, then, Your Highness, you're really going to have to trust me. Alistair flew out the window and called my name. All you got to do is jump, and then I'll catch you. What if you miss me and I plummet to my death? I asked, feeling a wave of trepidation wash over me. I'd never been one to take risk, and I definitely wasn't suicidal. Moreover, I couldn't trust Alistair even an inch. And there was this constant fear that he might accidentally let me slip out of his grasp. I'm not a careless fool. Hurry up before someone comes to the tower and catches you in the act of escaping. It'll be your head if I'll. It'll be head. I'm sorry. It'll be your head I'll catch instead. Now hurry up. It's almost supper time and I'm starving. Okay. Sorry if I'm reading too fast. I will stop anytime. Alistair's words echoed in my mind, instilling a deep sense of fear. The imminent threat of execution lingered in the air, heightening my senses. The room, dimly lit and suffused with a musty scent, felt suffocating. Desperation surged through me as I surveyed my surroundings, the urgency amplifying every detail. My eyes locked onto the high window, tauntingly out of reach. With a quick assessment, I realized that this was my only chance for escape. I knew I had to act swiftly, relying solely on my own strength. Heart pounding in my chest, I cautiously approached the cot. Its warm fabric, coarse and threadbare, offered little comfort as I hopped onto it. Each step sent a shiver of uncertainty through my body. With every leap, the cot groaned in protest, a haunting reminder of the consequences that awaited me if I failed. Finally, I reached the window sill, my fingers trembling as they grasped its gritty surface. The rough texture scraped against my skin, a stark contrast to the coolness of the room. As I prepared to lift, as I prepared to lift myself up, the weight of the situation became palpable. The stakes were high, my life hanging in the balance. Okay, that's not the part that I was going to read to you. Okay. Should I still keep reading? Did I lose everybody?
We are still here. You can keep reading as long as you like.
Oh,
We still have like a
okay,
half an hour
okay.
to
I just want
like.
to finish. Oh, goodness. Okay. All right. Oh, here's the part I was going to read. Okay. So this after he escapes, blah, blah, blah. I was taken aback by the unexpected offer from the four ruby dragon knights to accompany me to the empty plot where Sapphire Ravenkin once stood. I couldn't help but wonder why they would want to join me in visiting a desolate piece of land unless they had doubts about my trustworthiness. When our feet touched the ground, my eyes widened in disbelief at the sheer amount of work that had been accomplished in just a few short days. Stevie, known for her tireless work ethic, was undoubtedly talented, but this was on another level. As I surveyed the area, my gaze swept over the surroundings, taking in the sights and sounds. Everything appeared ordinary until a sudden exclamation from one of the knights, Sir Raven Revel, Sir Gavin Revere, I can't pronounce French words, excuse me, shattered the tranquility. Sir Fernsby, how is it possible to see the moon's reflection in thin air? Intrigued, I hurried toward the night, and then I saw it, a faint ethereal glow, a reflection that defied logic. Someone has cast a cloaking spell and a poorly executed one on top of that. I explained, raised my hands in a gesture of clarity. Sir Gavin mirrored my actions, and together we chanted the reversal spell. The moment the words left our lips, a surge of energy passed through us, and the air seemed to shimmer. The other three men erupted into cheers, confirming that our spell had succeeded. The rubble was completely cleaned up, and the construction had already started on the first floor. I paced back and forth with my hands resting on my hips. The thought of Stevie coming back here and stealing my thunder angered me. She may have thought she was entitled to the crown, but she was not fit to run a kingdom. I was the rightful king, or according to King Tyne and King Godspear. The latter told me, and I quote, "Marriage or not, you're the only surviving member of the Sapphire Ravenkin. Therefore, you're the only one who could wear the crown, so long as you find a way to rebuild it." "Burn it down," I said, and my volume became louder each time I repeated the phrase. "Burn it down. Burn it down." The knights gracefully bowed, their armor gleaming under the moonlight. One by one, they transformed into magnificent dragons, each adorned with a vibrant hue. Alistair became a ruby red dragon, radiating fire intensity. Sir Thomas Aderin transformed into an emerald green dragon, exuding a sense of serenity and lushness. Sir Hurry Paladin embodied the A- Azuli lapis dragon, its deep blue scales shimmering like a starlit sky. And then there was Sir Gavin, French dude, my fellow warlock, who turned into a majestic topaz gold dragon, emanating an aura of ancient wisdom. It had been years since I witnessed their dragon forms, but the sight was still awe-inspiring. The air was filled with a sense of wonder, the sound of wings beating against the wind, and a faint scent of magic lingering in the atmosphere. The raging wildfire unleashed by the majestic dragons was a breathtaking spectacle, illuminating the night sky with its mesmerizing glow. Its brilliance was so intense that I was convinced it could have been seen even from the distant Godspear Castle. Standing there, witnessing the once partially rebuilt Sapphire Raven Castle being consumed by the ferocious flames, a sense of satisfaction washed over me. There was no trace of remorse within me, only a profound hope that Stevie had received my message loud and clear. She had foolishly dared to challenge a man who was not to be trifled with, and in our next encounter, I would ensure her ultimate demise. Dun, dun, dun.
That was awesome.
That
Turn
was
it down.
amazing.
Turn
Thank
it down.
you.
Turn it down.
Thank
I can
you.
picture that.
You have a wonderful reading voice. I
Oh,
do have
thank
a
you. I will never do
question.
my own audiobooks, though.
I do have a
That's it.
question. Is it
What?
hard to write? Is it hard to write in languages other than English? I couldn't do it, so I'm wondering. It seems like that would be difficult.
It's easy enough to write him because Google Translate is awesome. Um, the only challenge I've been running into mostly is the Scottish dialect because, especially in this book, I mean, there's heavy Scottish, and you figure between, we have Samuel, we have Jeremy, we have Stevie, then we have the four dragons um, that speak the Scottish dialect. So it was really a challenge to write. I had to still kind of like edit some of it to where it was a little bit easier to understand for the readers because some of the Scottish words. Thank you, Michael. Are yeah, I had to actually write one sentence that not only confused my editor, it confused me too. So I had to rewrite it just to make it understandable for the audience.
That
Yeah,
actually
if I
makes
read too
sense.
fast, let me know.
Nope, you don't read faster than most Houstoners that I know. So, yeah.
Yeah, we actually
I
have done readings of my children's books on here, and we've had to go back and redo them because I read too fast for the pictures. So
oh no.
Yeah. Did Pip
Okay,
on the
and then what
24
was? Oh,
hours.
you want me to do Guntai?
Yeah, you said you'd read the blurb
Guntai,
for that.
Guntai. Because
I'll
I
put
don't
you
have
back
anything written on Ember yet. Okay,
in.
here we
Okay.
go. Ember, Guntai Academy 1. The blurb. Arusa Nakamura. Oh, no, let me start over. Arusa Nakamura, known solely as Ember Arasan, entered the Kodokuna Kokoro, that's a lot of K's, orphanage as a young child with only vague memories of the short time spent with her parents. Mistress Yasashi, a figure of authority, held a secret knowledge of Ember's past and the reasons behind her orphanhood. However, Mistress Yasashi kept the information tightly guarded, ensuring it remained a hidden truth until Ember turned 16. To her great dismay, Ember's guardians accompanied her to the prestigious Guntai Academy at the young age of 10. It was a decision made, hoping to provide her with a superior education and the opportunity to develop her limited fighting abilities. Despite possessing the heart of a warrior, Amber lacked the skills to truly put her determination to the test. The path ahead was arduous, but she remained steadfast, fueled by the dream of joining the esteemed Bide Elite Force when she turned 15. B for balance, I for integrity, D for dignity, E for enforcement. This was the mission of the Bide Mercenary Group, a group founded by upperclassmen that selected only the most exceptional students based on their grades and performance in the GBMT, Guntai Bide Military Training School. Amber's journey into her past only revealed itself when she set her sights on becoming a Bide soldier. This pursuit allowed her to fulfill a deeply personal mission despite the disapproval of her superiors and comrades. In her quest for inner serenity, Amber believed that she must vanquish the sorceress and her minions, the very culprits behind the tragic demise of her entire family, thus bringing an end to their malevolent legacy. What's that
That sounds fun.
face?
that does sound fun.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a challenge to write too, because the whole world building. It's completely different in this kind of book. So, that's one thing we have to do because they're gonna go to different schools. They're gonna go to different villages. They're gonna go. I mean, it's basically a journey series, like any Final Fantasy. It's not gonna be like it just in one spot.
That's I've been definitely looking forward to this since I read it's going to be a Final Fantasy like
Oh,
series, and I'm like, ooh, Josh was just playing that, and the best part about watching him play it compared to me play it is I don't die, and I get to watch the story.
I like the cutscenes. They're fun. But my daughter told me I kept getting killed by Adele. I kept getting killed by Adele. My daughter's like, "You didn't grind enough. You have to start all over, Mom." I'm like, really? That was a lot of work, dude.
The caves
Okay, I
such a lot
guess.
of work. So
Look,
yeah,
I remember years and years ago when it first came out, I would spend hours on the computer playing it, and then we got it for the PlayStation. I would spend hours playing on the PlayStation.
We had
Just
it for the
don't have the time
PlayStation. We never
anymore.
had it for the computer. And honestly, my favorite was always Final Fantasy III, which was 6 in Japan. We spent so much time on that. I had years invested in that game.
3 was the first Final Fantasy game I ever played in my life. And I don't think I ever finished it.
Oh,
Because
I
remember
finished
in
it
those
and replayed
days,
it.
you couldn't, you couldn't, well, you couldn't save more than one game. I
Yeah.
got super far in that game. One of our friends from out of town decides to start playing it, completely wiped everything I had worked on. I
Oh
was not
God.
happy. In fact, I was
We
furious and had to start completely over again after he left.
we spent so much time with it. We had gotten, because we had the original Super Nintendo version. We had the Game Genie as well. We had notebooks full. We had every code for the Game Genie that you could possibly imagine. And it wasn't something where you could look it up on the internet, because
Wow.
this was back before the internet. We spent days just typing in codes to see what worked. We literally
Well,
spent
this
days.
this series is still going to have its amount of twists and turns. I mean, Soshki and Ember will be good friends from the time she gets to the school. They're both young. They're both the same age.
Yeah.
Book 2 is going to center more on Soshki's past life, or past life. They're kids. They're not going to have much of a past life. But Magnus to me is like the one I'm looking forward to writing. He's actually not going to be coming into the series till like close to the end of book 2, but he doesn't come in as a good guy. Are you familiar with the guardian force named Ifrit, who's
mhm.
like a fireball? That's what
Yeah.
Magnus is a guardian force. He turns to a fireball. Um, Ember is going to turn into like the Phoenix. I'm like, I need a Shiva though, but there's no other female characters. I need Shiva. She's always been my favorite.
I love Shiva so much. I have dreams about her, and I turned one of those dreams
Oh,
into
she's
actual dreams I had
awesome.
in the story, and it confused Patty. Why is Shiva there? I don't know. She just decided to be there.
I mean, honestly, if you ask my opinion, if you play the games, you can have more than one guardian force.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Ember could also still have Shiva as a guardian force, as in addition to the Phoenix,
Mhm.
because she does move. She's a warrior, but she moves more toward the healing powers. And I mean, she really tries not to use a lot of dark magic unless she has to. So here's the way I have it broken down. And this is something my daughter and I were kind of talking about, because she's funny. She goes, "So, Mom, do you know the difference between a black mage and a white mage and a red mage?" "Oh, let's see, Stephanie. White mage is healing. Black mage is all dark magic. And red mage does both. They. She's like, I said, there's a green mage too. She goes, Mom, there's no such thing as a green mage. Okay. So we have Ember, who's a warrior. She will also have her guardian forces being the Phoenix and Shiva. And then we have Sochki, pardon me. He's a mystery because whatever he is, all up to Sophie. Um, Magnus just he's no wait. Sochki's gonna be the thief. Magnus is I haven't thought about what Magnus is. He's just Magnus. and then probably and then Edom is actually a red mage. So Edom is not a bad guy, but he can do both white and dark magic. I haven't really decided on he's a mage too because of who his mother is, and that's gonna be the twist in the whole series because of who his mother is. So he's actually gonna be more considered a probably a dark mage. He's not a bad guy though. This is hot, so it's beside the point. Um, but I'm super excited about this series. I'm super excited about it's gonna be mostly I will have like 3 motorcycle club books next year along with Stevie and Guntai, and then I'll probably never sleep because between working full time and writing all those books, I'll never sleep.
Well, didn't you know
Just
that's what a writer's supposed to do? We're supposed to work. We're supposed to cry because, of course, the writing, and we're supposed to write. We're not supposed to sleep. That's nowhere in there.
and you guys throw parenting
Yeah, but I
and
like sleeping. I like naps. I like this filter on this camera because my skin actually looks pretty decent.
you're always beautiful. I don't care
And then I
what
turn
anybody says, including the person up here in your head.
Hugo thinks I'm ugly. Oh, where the hell is that cat? He's hiding.
I don't
Good
know.
thing. Oh,
I
he's
don't know
right
where
there.
my cat is either. I'm not bringing him in this closet.
Did I have
No.
Hugo last time? Did
I,
I have Hugo last time we talked?
I can't remember. I just know I see Hugo a lot in the group. And then I show you Lunar from one of my 2
Oh,
pages
because
and go from there.
I'm one of those cat women. I'm one of those cat ladies. Then my daughter got a cat, so I'm like, yay, another cat I get to spoil. Yeah, Hugo's spoiled rotten. He is.
Um,
I beg to differ, but he is.
what character that you guys have written that you would like to actually sit down and have a coffee date or a tea date or whatever and just talk with? From the new stuff or the old stuff, it can be anywhere. Who would like to go first?
I have to say, I would love to have a chit chat with Gabriel Corbeau because he is just the bee's knees. He's awesome. He's handsome. He's funny. He's smart. I would love to be able to have coffee with him.
He's about the size
Actually,
of
it would be
that.
more like a really big, huge breakfast because he eats a lot.
Yeah. He needs the calories. What about you, Serena?
Mine,
Yeah.
mine will always have to be Tara from the zombie book because while all the other characters there, Shara is interesting and Lizzie is the smarter one. Tara, I think, has the more interesting stories to tell. Whereas to me, I see Shara more, okay, she's a child. The Lizzie, I would feel stupid around. Tara, we would actually be able to have a conversation.
Stevie won't sit
I don't
still
know if
long
that
enough.
makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Hey, Angel, did you have a question about the audiobooks?
Did we lose Angel?
No,
I know.
sorry. I
No.
do.
Okay.
Are they gonna be available on Audible, and for how much?
Here's the deal. I don't know how much they are because I always give everybody promo codes. Right now, I mean, the last one that became available of mine was Peacock's Lament, and that was the second book in the Blood of the Peacock duet. Hood of Sedna, my narrator, the same one that did Peacock, both Peacock books. Jonathan Ricardo is actually currently working on Hood of Sedna as we speak. He's hoping to get done with that by the end of this month, so we should hopefully have an audiobook for Hood of Sedna mid-July. Then he'll be starting to work on Coveted Hood about late August, early September. So, yeah, I have a lot of books on audio. I'm not sure about Sigil Angel yet, though, because I'm like, I don't know if I really want to listen to that one scene.
That I understand. Yeah. Usually about a
It'd be like one of
credit.
those you're listening to in the car and you have to turn the volume down, like, huh?
I said you can usually get any book on Audible for a credit, unless you don't buy the credits. But I do recommend the 3-pack credits because usually you can get a lot more that way. Unless it's like below
Or
the
if you know the
$3.
author and the author can hook you up with promo codes.
Unfortunately, I don't know it
What's
for
that?
all of them, but we do know the author for this one, and she is amazing. She's one of the best ladies ever. I have a room full of amazing ladies right now.
Yes, we do.
So thank you all for being here. Okay,
Right.
we are reaching the end. So, uh, did either of you have any more questions?
I think that was all I had to ask.
Is there anybody here?
They.
Can't think of
I know
anything.
Stefan, Michael are here. Well, 2 Stefans are here.
Michael, guys have questions for me? Michael's like, oh, Lori's an open book. She tells me everything.
That's always a good thing in certain areas. Well, you haven't not answered
Really?
any of my questions, no matter what
He doesn't
profile
want
I'm
to hear
on.
everything. Who? Me?
Yeah, I've noticed no matter what profile I'm on, you have no problem answering any questions from a fan. So that's awesome. And I appreciate that.
Oh, I don't. I love it. Bring him on. I mean, there are some questions that I have, like,
Well,
okay.
I did.
Do you guys have my question to ask you? Do you have a question that everybody seems to ask? You don't. You're so tired of answering now,
Um,
Serena.
Nobody has ever actually given me an author interview. So I haven't had that happen yet.
Well, we're gonna
But
start.
I interview authors.
Well, I've only been on Jenny's podcasts, and I was on one other, and the other one was when I first started, before I'd even released my first book. And honestly, I don't think she means to, but she's asked me the question about my favorite character now every time.
Well, yeah, but we have
So,
new people on this time, and she's added new characters, and it
Yeah.
have changed. As you add
yeah,
new characters, I have found that sometimes
You
because
know
we had
what?
this conversation, and she was like happy with Casey at that point. But now we have Stevie and other characters.
Um,
So I didn't know.
Stevie's been in my life for 4 years now. That's my girl. She's my homie. I love her. Um, Casey, I still love Casey. She's a completely different kind of, I would love to be able to go back and revisit the Belloamo Vampy saga, probably the next 3-4 years, rewrite those. Just gives, basically give Casey to me the story that she deserves. like Stevie did.
Mhm.
But no, one of my least favorite questions is like, so how did you become a writer and what made you interested in becoming a writer? I've been writing since I was in the 5th grade.
Yeah, nobody's bothered to
I
ask me
didn't
that
even
because,
know about
yeah.
um
I
I mean I think what happened is that come COVID, so many people are just like, well, I have nothing better to do. I'm gonna publish a book. I didn't even know about self-publishing until 2019. So I decided, okay, I've been writing this book with my friend for like 30 something years. I didn't know about editing. I didn't know about formatting. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And so I decided I'm going to go ahead and just put the book together. And
I got a question.
I had a lot to learn. I have
What's
an
your
answer,
question,
Angel.
Angel?
What kept you interested?
What kept me interested?
Yes, because I know a
I hate
lot
the
of the
real world.
times people will be like, "Oh, your hobby's dumb. Oh, that's just a hobby. It's lame." So, what kept you interested?
I hate the real world. Um, it's like I just feel like I always have a story to tell. Writing has always been an outlet for me, and that's why I just kept writing. But I really honestly didn't think that anything would come out of publishing my first book, and then it's just like I just became addicted to it. I just wanted to add more. Um, I learned a lot before Hood of Suddenly even came out. I mean, I got really bad reviews for my first book, and only because like a lot of them were like I had a lot to learn. I didn't know anything about head hopping. I didn't even know anything about first person, so it was written in third person. I had so much to learn. But basically, it's like thanks to Stevie Capo, I learned how to be a better writer.
it's a
And I wanted
journey.
to do her proud 4 years later.
Well, I'll tell you,
So Stevie's my
I
girl. I give her credit.
I I run uh Facor, but I have been doing this the whole self-publishing route to the making a small publisher since 2010, and I'm still learning. You
Mhm.
never stop learning.
You,
It never
you never
stops.
stop learning, and things change so often. It doesn't end. Trends change. They change so
Yeah.
often, and I can't keep up. I don't do TikTok. I can't even keep up on that. Instagram is like, oh, okay, I'll put one here and there. I'm bad at marketing, and it's like I basically give up on marketing.
If it
Just keep
wasn't for
writing. It's
Jenny,
easier for
the
me.
marketing part would,
Yeah,
yeah.
PA4.
If
Yeah.
it wasn't for Jenny, I'd be lost on the marketing part, honestly.
Yeah.
I
I
studied
do
with
have I
marketing.
can't be oh really? I don't. I should. But instead of getting a degree in hospitality, travel, and tourism, I should have like gotten a degree in marketing or something that I knew would have been a useful tool for now. But even when I got my degree, trends have changed so often since then that they probably would have been irrelevant. So
It marketing is hard.
that's the
I'm
thing. I
finding
can
a
write.
whole bunch of
It is.
authors that are having so much trouble with the marketing because it's like I'm doing all the things
Mhm.
all the people said to do. I'm doing it similar to other ads, but also we don't all have the amount of money to put 20, 30, even $10. And some of these publishers are putting
And
hundreds of dollars in their marketing. And right now I'm putting
then some of
$15
these
in
authors
marketing.
have wow. I mean, I try to do it myself. My PA just and then Facebook limits them.
Uh-huh.
Like the certain ones that are on street teams, like Michael, for example, my PAJ, she was kicked out of Facebook for 48 hours because she shared too much. She went over their limit. Um,
Oh yeah.
and I don't have a following like some of these authors do. So
we
finding a
were
following is hard.
we were having a conversation in the group about animals. I shared a video about Pikachu. I got kicked off of Facebook for 3 days because Pikachu was naked.
Oh, my Lanta,
It's an
Pikachu doesn't wear
animal.
clothes. It's an animal.
So I
I'm not
sent
gonna get
it
kicked off of Facebook because my cat does seductive poses. Not my fault.
apparently.
It's just not you who is. Hugo
I
thinks he's
shared
sexy.
with it was Serena's group, or so I shared it privately with her, and I'm like, is this a problem for you? She's like, no. I'm like, okay, I'm still kicked off of Facebook for 3 days because of it, but okay, it wasn't you that reported me. But hopefully I hope some of these people just tell us first.
Yeah. Wow, I can't believe that just kills me. You're gonna kick me off of Facebook because I shared a super popular Pokemon character because he had no clothes on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, our streams were kicked off of Facebook for like 2 months. And they
Your streams were?
reported us. Yeah, you can stream from here on Facebook for a good 2-3 months, and then finally recently we've been able to
Wow.
restart. And one of our members has a bald head, and their computers mistook it as a breast and tried to take down our feed.
Oh my God. That is nuts.
So yeah, it makes no sense.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, Facebook definitely has some issues, and it's mostly run by bots because nobody knows what's going on there.
Yeah. Okay. Um. The Okay, we have reached our hour and a half mark. Do you guys have any more questions for each other?
No.
Nope.
Angel?
Nope.
Okay. Where can we find you, Mina? Where do you want people to go to talk to you?
Oh, where can we find Mina
Or Mina or
to talk to me?
Lori Restore?
Well,
All of you. Both of your pen names. Or if you have another one,
all of
I'll
me. We're on Facebook under LD Wosar. No, Mina Skye is my only pen name besides LD Wosar. Um, just basically you can find me there. My group is called. What is my group called? My group is called something.
you changed it
Wozy
on me.
Sky Clan. I change it all the time. Um, Wozy Sky Clan. I am looking for ARC readers, and so I do have a ARC group, which I'm still debating whether or not I want to dismantle that and just have like specific people read and review my books. Um, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It's just it's maddening trying to get ARC readers and trying to get a street team built, and so I'm just gonna go
I
with the
totally,
flow, do my thing. That's all I could do. Huh?
I totally understand that. I have like 9 authors I work with, and getting
Hmm.
people to even comment or read or look at the post is kind of hard at times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Okay,
I don't know what the readers want. So
I don't either.
I'm just gonna keep writing what I want.
And
that's
I'll
the
read it.
best thing to do.
Where can we
That's
find you?
honestly the best
I
thing
think
to
so.
do because somebody told me one time I was struggling with the idea that, well, what if there's a bad review or whatever? This was when I first started writing. And this person told me, then that wasn't your reader. Write what you want, and your reader will find you. And I don't know if they meant for me to take that to heart, but I did.
Yeah.
Because it made sense.
I mean, you're going to get bad reviews. My books are not going to be for everybody. I haven't really been getting the greatest reviews, honestly, on Hood of Sedna because there are certain parts that are too confusing for the readers because I have too many POVs and it's like,
These
Yeah,
people
why don't you
are
send me a book on how to write a book to appease you?
my first novel, Rust Gore and the Junkyard Zombie, is written with all of the characters' POV. There's Chris, Amara, uh, Tara, Lizzie, and God, I can't remember his name, but there was Lizzie's husband. Each of them are telling the story. So there's 5 different point of views throughout the story. And it works. It might not be how some people want to read it, but it works. So, and
Because
it's got decent
I have
reviews.
one scene in Hood of yeah, I have one scene in Hood of Sedna that I believe is from Stevie's point of view, but there's Stevie there, there's Sebastian, Gabriel's there, Rowan's there, and what I was getting is that it was too confusing. There was too much going on in one scene. What am I supposed to do when you have a scene that all the characters are in there? So, I mean, I'm sorry that if my writing confuses some people, that's just how my mind is. My mind is like going a million miles a minute.
Yeah.
Sometimes it ends up in black and white too, and you know, too many ideas. That's just me.
And
I can't change the way I am.
like I said,
Michael wants to know if your books are on KU, Serena.
no, because the problem with KU is they require you to limit your books entirely to Kindle. My books are available everywhere. um, Paycor has
And
a
come
habit of
December,
publishing. Yeah. And come December, Mina's books are going to be with Paycor and they're going to be available everywhere. And when I say everywhere, I'm talking Google Play, I'm talking Apple Books, I'm talking library, online Overdrive, Hoopla. Your local library has them. All you have to do is go to whatever their ebook version is, and they will have them because it's
Hoopla.
uploaded to like Libby and that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Oh wow. Yeah, they use
There's
Hoopla at my
Amazon.
local library.
Yeah, there's Amazon. There's Barnes and Noble. All of that, and that's what we do with Paycor is we do have it all over the place, but it being available at the library is a big thing because as far as I'm concerned, that means that people can access your book for free. Kindle Unlimited charges you. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get access to all these books, but they charge you.
That's still
And then they
$15
make
a
the
month.
author, yeah, and then they make the author not allowed to put their books out there for any other resource. So the author is stuck with Amazon. And Amazon is not a good company by any means. They have their uses.
Do you know
They have perhaps the biggest access as far as people buying books, but they're not a good company. So
do you know how many accounts I have with KDP only because they keep putting me in pre-order jail because I cancel pre-orders. If you cancel a pre-order, you cannot do a pre-order for a year.
yes,
So
I
I have
know.
about, let me
I
see, about 5 KDP accounts because it keep putting me in pre-order gel. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna, instead of messaging them saying, "Can you please release my suspension?" I just fight the system, whatever. Um, yeah, because there's, life happens. You end up not being able to finish a book, or you change your
Mhm.
mind about that book, and you decide you don't want to do it. I
I
think too
don't
much
put
on
up
it.
pre-orders. That's why I schedule my stuff the way I do. I do not put up the pre-orders on
Hmm.
Amazon until I am certain that I can meet that deadline.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of authors that have come to me and said, like, well, I can do this. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll tentatively schedule this. And then you get me the manuscript and we'll get you in pre-order. And while I'm doing editing and formatting and getting all the marketing images done and all the stuff that I do for that author, because there is a lot that goes into it. We do like 3 different types of
Yes.
marketing images. We do, and this is just to start with. I do the 3 original, and then I get them to Jenny, and Jenny makes more from there. Um,
Yeah.
I do the book formatting to make sure that it's right to go up for paperback, hardback.
Mhm.
I make sure there's an EPUB version for the ebooks because once I get the formatting, I don't want anybody changing it. And the problem is, a lot of these places want to add their own little touch after you do it. No, if I upload a manuscript, you leave it alone. So, I do the EPUB, I do a PDF for the print version and for the hardback. I make sure there's a print cover. I'm now working on getting all of them up on Ingram as well because we're working with them now. So there's a lot that goes into it. I don't need Amazon going, yeah, you're in jail.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to do that to me because I'm going to have all my
One of
stuff
my
in line.
one of my dreams is to go into our Barnes and Noble here and see my books in print.
I can
My daughter
actually,
goes there all the time. I mean,
I actually do know there is a process to do that. I have to send in an application to their store and
mhm,
apply for your book to be on the shelves. It is doable. You can also,
okay,
if that main application doesn't work, you can go to the resource manager at your local store and go, as long as it's being done through Barnes and Nobles, which Baycore does, all the print goes through Barnes and Nobles as well as Amazon.
good.
You can go in and
'Cause I
say,
love Barnes and Noble.
Me
you can
too.
go in and say, my books are in your system. Would you be willing to order them? And again, it ends up being up to the local manager, but a lot of times the local manager will work with local authors. If you go in and say, my book is in your system, this is the ISBN in your system, and that would be something that I would provide you with, then the manager can look it up and they've got to make the choice as to what to carry. But they're more
Mhm.
likely to do that if the author is standing in front of them. I will put in the application for it to go into the local store on my end, but that does not necessarily mean anything because I did that once already for another author and it got refused. That does not mean anything. It just meant that they did not feel like it would sell enough for it to be carried. It was a children's book. So, you
Oh,
know, there's a different genre there. Um, but it is entirely possible to get it on the shelves. We have had our books on the shelves in Barnes and Noble before, because we've had anthology authors that have gone in and said, "Look, I'm in this anthology. Would you be willing to carry it?" And the managers were like, "Sure." So it's not that hard to do.
I was just happy that I could buy it from barnesandnoble.com, the book I wrote with the cover I made, and I could buy it there. And you set it up where I could do that, and I was like so happy.
Yeah.
That a dream since I
Yeah,
was
because
a kid.
my daughter honestly would prefer to exactly. My daughter would prefer to give her money to Barnes and Noble than Amazon for her
Well, and
books.
that's
I
the
mean, she's like a Barnes and Noble princess.
yeah, that's the thing. When I set it up so that you have a choice, because Amazon really sucks. It really does.
Mhm.
But Amazon is convenient for some people.
Uh-huh.
So,
Okay, guys. Angel, where do you want people to find you?
All right.
I
Me?
have a YouTube.
You have a
Oh,
YouTube?
Angel.
What is your YouTube called?
I forgot.
Okay. That's
I
great.
think it's I think you can probably find her by typing in Zombie Angel, but let me
Yeah,
double check.
yeah.
Uh,
Zombie Angel.
okay. Next time that Angel's on with us, her link will be in the description. There was a miscommunication, and unfortunately, it was not given to Jenny in time to put it in the description today. So, but this will be uploaded to her uh, YouTube as well, so you can watch the replay by searching for it and find her channel that way.
Okay, guys.
So,
We are past the normal time, which I have no problem with because these ladies are amazing and I want you to read them. And we all learned things today. We learned about them. We learned how bookstores work. And okay, before I go into my schmill about where to
Yay.
find me, being as the network is Owlet Network, we just had an anthology come out, the Owlite Menagerie, with some amazing authors like Serena and her story Shudders, and mine, 1014 Midsummer Lane, and so many more. And all the proceeds from our Owlite Menagerie are going to pro literacy to help adults get what they need to learn to read and they can be more successful. I have so much trouble with that word. They work with any adults with the adults that sign up. They help them get all the skills they need to become better readers. And you're very welcome, Michael. And if you want to find me, I'm here on Owlite Network. I'm on Baycore, whichever way she is. I'm on my pages, Friday with the Library with the Blue Box, and my author page, Jennifer Elliott. And please check out the YouTube of Angel and read these books that these amazing ladies have had, Apocalypse Antonym and Everything Stevie. Because I love Stevie and I love Relic. Those are like my two favorite stories by this amazing lady at the bottom. And Apocalypse Antonym has all the short stories other than Death of Neverland. I think it's Death of Neverland, right? But I love those two books. Those are amazing. My favorite of Serena's. Thank you for coming. Please check out our new anthologies, and hopefully you'll come back
Thank you,
and
Miss
see our
Jenny.
Mwah. Bye.
Mwah.